Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you, Phreak.
Yeah, we actually usually don't show champ select until after the first ban comes through, so we always get a cheat here on the caster desk. I didn't last game, I actually got the countdown right, but either way, Shen off the table. Hauntzer says, well, we played it. Didn't work for us, but still don't want to give that one away. LeBlanc ban, no surprise. Malzahar ban, no surprise. Pretty much down the tier list in a lot of these cases. We see so many LeBlanc Varus bans.
Yeah, I mean, the only addition here has been Shen so far. To expect similar ones. The other one that could come up as well, Lulu wasn't a big factor in the last game, but she has really become super high priority. And anytime I also see it paired with like Malzahar's also banned and on the board, that becomes an option because I'm waiting for people to pinch the Lulu Karma trade, which everyone's happy to do the trade right now. And once again, they're both up, and you do expect them to just be traded again. But
Ryze, Jace, Lulu. The two champions that are left off the ban phase from last time are Ryze and Jace. So the first one picked right away by TSM, still a high priority on that champion. Bjergsen wants it. As the only mid lane ban was this LeBlanc.
Yeah,
it's like Rengar still believed to be king here for Immortals.
Everybody's super confident with, blind picking the Ryze at the moment. Next patch, maybe not so much, but we're still currently on 7.4. And a lot of people have talked about how there's definitely less importance on the Cassiopeia pick into it. Some people still like the angles and do like it as a slight advantage, but others are happy to power right on through.
Yeah, and of course we don't see a ton of Ryze. He's banned very often, but Ryze is weaker than he was in the beginning of the season. Cassiopeia has not, I believe, gotten any huge nerfs outside of our Flash is gone. That's pretty minor, but not going to be rushed for the Lulu, not going to be rushed for the Cassiopeia. Nautilus, Rengar grabbed early. Immortals wanting to play a tank top.
Yeah, and talk about tank tops. Maokai got some very significant nerfs. Nautilus is really risen as the new king, I guess. Only slightly above the others, but still definitely holds his place above. See if they answer jungle here for TSM. I would expect, I mean, last time they did go with the Kazakhs and answer.
Yeah.
But Graves is also definitely one of my favorites.
Okay, Lulu going to be added to the roster, and now TSM have to figure out, do they want to match? The thing is, they can't match all the roles. So do you match jungle, do you match top, or do you take the only bot laner you care about and try to really pinch from there? I would expect, I don't know what I expect, honestly. It's up to TSM.
Well, I will step out there for jungle, just because I feel like top lane has a lot more diversity at the moment. All right, I got it. Maybe right, because this is a flexible pick.
True.
The answer, in fact, Phreak, is both. Gragas can definitely go top, can definitely go jungle as well at the moment. So TSM have solved that issue. Haha.
Alrighty, they have at least one here, and I would generally expect it to be into the jungle. I think it's better for the champion, but you never know. It's up to them. Certainly plenty of magic damage on the roster, and I think no surprise that Cassiopeia is the hover, still perceived to be the best pick into the matchup.
It is interesting because a lot of people, when they talk about the pros of the top Gragas, is kind of, lane phase into other tanks. So, okay. Definitely a very viable flex at the moment.
Fair enough.
So a good first round here from TSM, I believe. Let's see where they decide to pinch next as, half-heartedly the lanes have been answered. Maybe TSM will ban out the support role and try and actually break up that Lulu Karma trade we talked about. They could just ignore it though and let the other shielding support go on over.
Looks like Immortals think it's jungle Gragas with the top lane ban right now at the Rumble. Saying, no, we think you're still going to pick your top laner. They seem to be happy playing Nautilus into Gragas itself, and that's what those bans tell me at the very least. There is the Karma predicted. Good job. Proud of you.
Get her out of here. Now we finally get to see some interesting support play.
Hey.
I don't know. I'm okay with the shield spamming and everybody just throwing out random skill shots at each other in the bottom lane. But
a
little variety is nice, Phreak. Spice up my life, please.
Fair enough. Well, we're going to spice it up with a Kazakhs ban. So it will be a new jungler for Svenskeren regardless, but Immortals clearly not sure which one they were going to go for.
They split the difference here. They're like, all right, well.
It's still up to you. We're going to remove one from each side.
Honestly, though, the highest priorities from either side. Since Shen and Renekton were already banned, there was a lot of value in that Rumble ban. So these are the reasons that were going into it. Whereas TSM, as I said, it's much easier since the support role was the one left unanswered. And they not only break up the Karma Lulu trade, but also take you a step down, even below Zyra.
So 4 supports off the table, 3 being bans, 1 being picked away.
Could as well still be a Nautilus flex into support if we want to keep all of our windows open.
We'll we'll see right now. Not going to be minimized just yet. Ezreal going to be picked up in the bot lane with no bot laner bans aside from the Varus, and down towards the 7th pick of the game. Ezreal still prized. AShe maybe against it. Decided between AShe and Jhin. Either way, it's going to be utility focus. We'll see. Jin's a bit better, stronger in solo queue, but Hawkshot can be great for tracking a jungler. That's what's going to be here for the Rengar.
Also,
AShe comes in.
AShe benefits a lot more than Jhin from the Lulu with the extra attack speed. And yeah, I mean, it could be a Graves top, could be a Graves jungle. So those are still switchable.
You really think Graves could play top?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he can, but you think it's going to happen, though?
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't either.
I do. I think that it's possible, though.
It is possible. I think it's still a strong champion.
And it's more likely than some super random picks.
Well, that's true. I would think Graves top is more likely than like Shyvana top, for example. But Bard going to round out the lineup, so I guess you're right. It does get more exciting when you get champs like this. Olleh, definitely a good Bard player. Going to bring it out here. Oh, that's going to be fun to deal with. TSM's comp, honestly, fairly slow for most of them, and I think we can definitely get some good Tempered Fates here.
Yeah, definitely. You know, bringing back Olleh's Bard, I'm excited to see if they can combo this, because there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah.
They have super good dive buddies with the Rengar and Nautilus, and an incredibly high-powered backline as well. So if you land a good Bard ultimate, like that can set you up for a sweeping team fight.
Yeah, you've got 4 big AoE ultis from Immortals right now. You can land the 3-shot barrage against it, Cassiopeia against it, and the Nautilus follow-up is there. So team fight power is here, and Dardoch, if he has the same early game as last time, could break this game apart.
Meanwhile, on TSM side, the AShe arrow picks have been crucial in the mid game when people have been wandering around. And the Ryze ultimates, we've already seen Bjergsen have a lot of YouTube highlights with those ones.
Yes.
Help out with some rotations, help out with those objective trading maneuvers that you do get to when you're closer to ending it out.
Yep, he's got a big brain. We'll see if he can make this one happen here. TSM, 200 IQ plays. We'll see if they can put that together. But it's going to be a fun one. TSM down 1 game in this series. Immortals with a very well-played early game. Dardoch basically 2-0'd Svenskeren in the first, 8 minutes of the game, 6 minutes of the game, something like that. Something ridiculous. Smashed him open in the jungle.
And he's back on Rengar.
He's back on Rengar. This time maybe a different matchup with the Graves coming through for Svenskeren, and TSM hoping to bounce back from a Game 1 loss that they so very often suffer. You can see TSM several banners denoting that they have been several-time North American champs, but now, here we go. Game 2, TSM hoping for the comeback, hoping to take control of first. But if Immortals can close this one out, they end the week in a 4th place tie. Better than so many expected from Immortals, but they can do it with Dardoch on point, with Olleh feeling better about his spot in the team. Immortals could make this 11th hour climb in the standings.
And man, is it getting exciting here from that playoff race. TSM obviously do want to push this game number 3 so they can remain near the top side. Talking about the playoff race, I mean, even the buys are still highly prized as well.
At this point, Phoenix 1 is only, I think, 2 matches behind 2nd place, and if TSM loses, 2 matches behind 1st place, with 4 to play for all the squads at the end of the week.
And with Cloud9 losing, they could actually, finally move ahead.
Yep. We'll see. Of course, Phoenix 1 nor Cloud9 not in this game, but let's see what happens. Early poke by WildTurtle. I know the crowd went wild. Unintentional pun. But TSM, they got the ward. 10 gold to Hauntzer. Way bigger lead than what WildTurtle got. TSM smashing the early game.
Well, they're going to continue on with this invade, it looks like. Dardoch does not want to give up on his red quadrant, though. He is staying here. Flame is ready to help him out, and they will converge on this. It's 2 opposite sides, though. That's always dangerous because the 2-member TSM squad can just turn on you.
Yep. Do some damage to the Raptors. Here comes
Olleh
with the early roam. Svenskeren gets some of it. Pobelter here as well. Sven on the wrong side of this fight. Satchel's over the wall, and Sven, there's no chance he lives
start
here.
Counting now. What was it? 4 seconds. 5 seconds.
Dardoch has a kill.
6 seconds.
Like 100% Dardoch has a kill, but it's actually going to be a lot of damage out of Sven. Dardoch has to respect this a little bit. Damage is there. 400 gold. No assist, but it only would have been 100 gold. And Dardoch has 3 straight kills on Svenskeren in the early game.
Holy moly. That, I mean, it just feels like they're not respecting, not thinking about like anything here. The longer that you stay in vision in enemy territory, you have to assume that they're sending more people over, right? So if you are not sending more team members, then you just have to assume you're going to be outnumbered. This is enemy jungle. They can easily send more people, and Olleh heads over, and they chase him right out of that one. Dardoch, once again, will be feeling very confident here. Let's see if he can snowball in a similar fashion, because it's not quite as devastating. Bottom lane actually going super aggro.
The flash Q, the Ignite is on, but it's not enough damage. Now Cody Sun's forced to kite. He's got minion aggro. Takes a lot of damage from Biofrost.
Oh man, the cannon plus ranged minions there did just as much as the Ignite and autos from Olleh onto WildTurtle. So in fact, after the trade, both AD carries end up at similar health pools.
And worth pointing out that when Olleh did roam up, Cody Sun was denied. Cody actually missed pretty much the entire first wave.
Pretty funny continued invade though. The reason why TSM bottom lane was coming from that angle, Svenskeren went back at it. Died inside enemy jungle, goes back to the invade, takes away blue right after grabbing his own red.
Yep, and that's level 3 for both these junglers just now grabbed, so XP a bit equal, but of course an extra long sword makes Dardoch happy. Kind of knows what happened with the Graves. You can see the Scuttle Crab ring near his side of the map. Smite up for both these players. Nice pickup by Sven. Well played there. Dardoch getting a lot of damage, so he's going to go for the play. One more hit will do it, but he's under the turret. Dardoch, good luck, buddy.
Yeah,
He's
don't
gone.
give an assist. Don't give any
buffs.
extra money over, and you don't want exactly the buffs or the money to a mid laner, else you get flamed by your mid laner.
Bit more damage across, but Summoner Heal used by Cody Sun for the chase power doesn't turn into much. It is WildTurtle pushed away, though, but look at this, a 10 minion lead. Got to be softened slightly. Yeah. Very interesting bot lane all the same.
Definitely a slugfest, but all in all, gold evened back up here for TSM because of the... Ooh, actually, wait around a bit, just a quick trade, never mind. Because of the continued proactive moves, even after failing on the initial invade.
Pobelter up against Jensen, having a bit of a better time than he has been for much of the year. He vindicated himself nicely yesterday against High, and he did pretty well in Game 1 against TSM. Pobelter had been very down on himself for how he had been playing. He was, and maybe still is, the mid-lane death leader in the North American LCS. But I believe he's 3 deathless games in a row now, and hoping to fix that record.
Also, best Katarina so far in the North American LCS.
Fair.
And only.
Who he played a while back.
Oh.
Wasn't as good as Pobelter's, though.
You know what? You're right. I retract my statement. He also had a pretty good game, so.
Yeah, I'm right about something.
Woo! You got me. Regardless, though, had another good opening game in this series. Got a good matchup in this particular game as well. And should be able to even up these CS pretty neatly.
And looks like good things are ahead for Immortals right here. And well, it's the 100 gold lead for TSM, though. They're actually winning in farm in a lot of places. The bot lane up 12 right now. Olleh's roam did hurt Cody Sun a little bit, but also you can make complaints for how Immortals played the duo lane a little bit. Let's see, as WildTurtle is the biggest leader on the team right now.
Yeah, this bottom lane has been feisty, and you can tell with Olleh's Ignite coming back up and the exhaust, pretty similar timing from Biofrost. The supports are going to feel definitely like they have options to go aggressive again. Meanwhile, both AD carries still worried about the junglers. Hawkshot goes out, just barely misses Dardoch. That might give false confidence, actually. And Dardoch heads right down. That Hawkshot barely passed by him, didn't see him. He's not level 6 yet, so that's definitely something for TSM bottom lane. They don't have to be as worried, but might just take a Bard tunnel.
They're going to try for it right on a Biofrost and Turtle. A couple of slows are there. That's not going to go for the root, but for the extra Q. The damage comes across. Dardoch has 3 kills now. Jumps in from the rush.
I really like that. At first I was like, oh, why did Olleh go for that odd angle? You can gain more distance with a Bard tunnel, you know, get slightly further into the middle of the lane, but he went right into the brush so Dardoch could hop off of it.
Yeah, very smart.
For this ward, yeah, very
right there.
Intelligent move. They didn't even get a chance to see Dardoch before he's on top. So you set up the snowball, Phreak.
Yep.
Another kill for Dardoch. Bottom lane is snowballing.
Yep. The entire game scoreline is Dardoch. Just 3-1-0 is exactly what's going
All
on there.
kills and deaths belong to him.
Yep, all champion combat is just Dardoch. And it's good because he, again, has been inconsistent. He's had some really bad games, and I always like when players do well regardless of what team they're on, and Dardoch playing well is good for him and good for Immortals fans and good for Dardoch fans, and maybe bright things ahead for him. Game's still very close, so the thing is the farm has been going very much TSM's way. Despite these kills, it is a tied game.
That's a perfect point, Phreak, because while it is similar in the fact that Dardoch is snowballing, the overall game is not snowballing, and you can't really carry over a defensive mindset from your previous game. TSM, since they have, dropped quite a few single games in best of threes, are definitely not a team that does that. They don't carry over past failures into this game and won't be playing too scared. But you have to keep this in mind as this is not the similar situation where the entire game is getting out of control.
Sure.
Immortals have to definitely be wary.
And I think they can, though. I feel like Dardoch and Olleh are playing very well together. Keep in mind, Cody Sun's on Ezreal, which is the best possible bot laner for a 1v2 lane. And Olleh's running around, like, helping Dardoch steal stuff. He gives him magical journeys out of the jungle and all this, and it feels like good things are coming. Yeah. I do think the chances of snowballing this game are still there. Flame and Hauntzer spotted in the 1v1, and Pobelter not going to find much of a trade on a Bjergsen, but Dardoch looks like he wants top lane in a tank-v-tank matchup. Oh. Pobelter over the wall, stun's going to be there, and a missed flash by Flame does nothing. Yeah, and now it's going to be a burned ulti. Going to get onto the jump, going to get the kill. Now Dardoch has to choose how to use the ferocity. It's going to be for more damage. The double kill comes through, and once again, the scoreline is Dardoch versus TSM.
Yeah, Dardoch said, what are you talking about? Overall game state? I am the game state. 5 more kills. Jeez. All right, yeah, he's able to clean up this whoopsie-daisy flash from Flame. At first I was like, wait, did he pull some kind of crazy flash cancel animation combo? No. That was just a mistell there on the flash. And then he's able to get this one as well with Pobelter roaming up.
And that was crucial that Pobelter roamed before Bjergsen did, because Pobelter's been hard pushing lane the entire time, and Dardoch coming up, or sorry, Sven coming up, I don't know if he realized that Bjergsen was late to the play.
Exactly, and it's something to talk about when the overall gold in the game is similar, but if your jungler is fed, it does so much more because the enemy team has to guess where that gold is and where that power is, and it allows the mid lane to confidently push up like that, even more so than maybe he would be, considering the mid lane CS is actually pretty close. And Bjergsen actually had a little bit extra money in his pockets, but has to definitely give way due to the matchup, due to the extra jungle support and the warding that's coming through.
See if you can snowball this game. The gold lead finally is meaningful for Immortals. They finally opened themselves up here. Bot lane is stabilizing and farm, mid lane the same.
And, while we're watching the tanks bang on each other, the Dardoch is invading once again, taking away this blue buff and dropping a lot of those advanced wards deep into the enemy jungle on the actual camp here, not just the routes as well. TSM trying to take away a sneaky Infernal Drake, though.
Yep.
And no vision. I think they should be able to get away with it.
Nicely done. You mentioned it. You don't always know where the gold lead is, but in this case, the gold lead is over on the top lane with Dardoch on that Rengar switching the blue. It's going to be a couple of seconds bought by Olleh. Looking for the steal. Not probably going to happen. There's a good smite, and Sven jumps the wall. But good by TSM to figure out. I don't know if they deduced where he was or if they just managed to get the play because of the bot lane priority, but losing team sneaks a Drake is well played.
Again, like we said for last game, TSM, they're making plays on the opposite side of the map, trying to get things in the strong side for them. Inferno is definitely one of the biggest prizes that they could come away with at this point. They'd be very happy to rely on that one because they still have all their turrets. They can still try and grind out this farm. It is a bit difficult to avoid Rengar, but we'll see how they're able to react because they do have Ashe Arrow. Bjergsen should be able to gain a lot of distance as far as catching up in the roaming, even if Pobelter gets the first step. You can always Realm Warp to try and make up a little bit of difference there.
See what they can get next. Dardoch still wants to be powerful and roam around the map and be the gold lead. He is going for some lethalities. There you go. You've got the more aggressive Rengar build at your fingertips. Going towards what's probably a Youmu's, checks for some wards, and here comes the bot lane dive. Can it be matched? Ooh, nice knockup. Well played by Biofrost. Perfect timing. Blocks all of the damage on WildTurtle, but doesn't matter because the bot lane push is here. We'll have to wait for the next wave, but good true shot barrage. It'll buy a few turret shots back.
Yeah, TSM trying to make up time there on the mid lane, and Immortals make a good call to not bring every single person. They don't need Pobelter all the way down on the bottom side to ensure that they get that one. And he just stops the counter push from TSM while almost
they can't
still
quite
getting
get
it. Olleh wasn't there.
Flash out of Dardoch, Arcane Shift out of Cody Sun, grabs a quick couple of health relics and speeds away. The flash, the knockback beautifully done by Hauntzer, and Dardoch is the goalie, but he's also the shutdown. And the kill comes through to WildTurtle, making it 2-5.
So I don't think they needed Pobelter, but they did need Olleh. He went off on one of those chime journeys for Bard, I think, warding up in the red quadrant jungle. Without his extra damage, they didn't finish off the turret. TSM turned it around. They get the shutdown on the guy that had every single kill.
Yep.
It's actually a large chunk of gold and almost brought the whole game back to even it once again if you consider the turret as well.
Absolutely, a lot of money just flooding in the TSM coffers off that play. Nicely done by them. They managed to play around the deficit very, very well. Yeah, it's a mistake by Immortals. Still, props to TSM for getting that flank off.
Exactly. I mean, the reason Immortals felt so confident there in sending off Pobelter and then even Olleh, which probably was ill-advised, was because how well, the game was going for Dardoch in particular. But TSM, they see them split, and they inch back in, a little bit dangerous, but it pays off very big.
It really does. And now TSM can feel much better about this one. If it doesn't involve Dardoch, TSM have more gold as a team thanks to the turrets.
Roaming up to the top side here. There's not only these two in the bush, but also coming up the river, you see a couple.
No. Oh, it's Biofrost in front of him. Gets the double wild growth, but the roots are there. A ton of CC and a couple more shots will do it. Can't quite turn it around. But what a nicely aimed shot right there. Stun into the wall. One kill picked up. Make it two. The roam is there. And a safe magical journey out. Nicely done. The Immortals tower dive works beautifully.
Let's see the aftermath. Bjergsen's trying to roam to the other side. Actually, now just changing his mind. Recalling. No play gonna happen. And it's an unanswered top dive here from Immortals. Get the kills. Stick around for more.
Svenskeren, he's actually just catastrophically misplaying this game. Gives away another kill.
Good stop there. Good stop there by Flame at the end, too, because there were no more minions left. Just on the outside of the range. The tower would have swapped back over to Dardoch and landed that kill, but he stops on the edge, lets him out.
Yep.
Yeah. I have done that before where I killed a teammate in that way, but here we go. Here's this move. As we said, they were moving up with the roam from Olleh as well, bringing Pobelter once again.
Olleh's trying to run away under his turret. Hauntzer's got grasp, they got the damage, and TSM do get a trade kill back. And finally, Dardoch has not 100% of his team's deaths. Another kill comes through for TSM. And they're inching their way back into this game, but other than that nice bot lane first turret pickup, it's still been Immortals making some really great plays and breaking this game open for them.
Yeah. Definitely some much needed gold there for TSM in their pickup of the kill on Olleh, but not going to make up any meaningful ground as far as tower damage or any sort of vision control. So they're still in the thick of it here. And while a lot of people give TSM a lot of room with losing the first game in a series because they have this kind of history of coming back in them and making a lot of big improvements further on, it gets very scary when you start looking at kill discrepancies like this in game number 2. So they definitely have to buckle it up if they want to keep this series going. And Immortals, eyes start to get a little wide here.
Yeah.
When you've got this big of a lead in this series as well as this particular game.
I mean, it's Dardoch especially. Looking at individual gold totals, there is not anyone aside from Olleh who's ahead on gold who's not named Dardoch. Flames behind, Pobelter's behind, Cody Sun's behind 400 gold. It really is about the two roamers that have to actually create the plays for Immortals.
Yeah. And in general, the strategy against Rengars that are going full damage like this right into lethality is not only to patch up your defenses with a little armor, but also to group up a little bit more. Have the buddy system enacted, go hand in hand, because you don't want to give him any sort of one-on-one or even sometimes one-on-two potential. Power in numbers, safety in numbers, I guess there is the key for TSM.
As long as it contains Dardoch, though, they're able to get this. So Cloud Drake goes over to Immortals. Of course, the last one was taken by TSM as a trade for a blue buff steal.
Interesting. Flame's getting pretty tanky, but he doesn't have armor. So Svenskeren up on the top side seems like more of a counter gank situation. Trying to screen for Hauntzer there. Because that is a fairly tanky Nautilus, even though he doesn't have armor. And, you know, Svenskeren would be able to do quite a bit.
God, I just want to see anything to do in the bot lane, but right now there's not. Bjergsen not playing aggressively on a Pobelter, who is playing very much past the river. And Dardoch only has a few wards to give and can't give him a lot of vision to make the split push safe.
Yeah, speaking of vision, most of it is around mid lane for Immortals. They've been trying to move it up a bit into the jungle, but TSM currently are a bit thin. And they have 2 control wards in inventory that they're going to try and work around, but they don't have a lot of options as far as areas to go for any sort of turnaround plays. That's why Sven's kind of moving up and down the river, looking for a mid or top lane counter gank, depending on who's pushing the wave at the moment.
Right now, the 2,000 gold difference, it's enough for TSM to work from. But it is Immortals in the driver's seat as long as they can tune Dardoch.
Look at this play here from Bjergsen. He's running up the lane behind Hauntzer here. They really are putting a lot of effort into setting up counter plays because they're thinking that Dardoch might go for the top side. After the recall is completed here, though, they're going to have Hauntzer hold onto the minions down bottom while they try and overload top side to get a trade. Those turret trades we're talking about is the best you really hope for when you're down like this. So they send everyone to just shove it down, and hopefully for them, Hauntzer will survive. But they got quite a few people.
I feel like Olleh can just ult and they can stack on top of him, but it's not going to happen here. Bot lane tier 2, traded for top lane outer. Cody Sun going to try to wave through with his own ult.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Dardoch was bottom. Now he's going for Turtle.
A lot of damage. Oh my word, that is some damage up. But staying alive, flashes in, does get the kill, but he's going to lose his life, and I'm not really sure if it's worth it.
Well,
gets away an assist on it.
Here come the rest of Immortals, and Temper Fate is still available.
Gonna find Bjergsen, 4v4, but they're missing their goalie. This fight's gonna be close. Stun to Bjergsen, Pobelter. CC'd up for a bit, the damage out of the backline. They're gonna try to blow up the Ryze. He's not quite gonna go down. Finally, they get it for Pobelter, but it's a trade of mid laners. One down on each side. Now Hauntzer being chased. Flame's gonna land. The Root gonna land a bit more damage. Cody Sun still on the chase. It is a 3 versus 3. Not gonna land the stun as Olleh, as a flash get him out of range. Just a 2-for-2 fight. Decent for TSM, I feel like.
Oof, very good. Talking about trading, even though it's not, they didn't, you know, make a whole bunch of gold off of this. Trading is kind of the best deals that you really hope for in those situations. And man, Dardoch just powers through this one. Feels like, you know what? If I kite, they're gonna chase me down. The exhaust slow will chain into Ashe slows, and if I get too far away from this brush, I have no surprise left to turn anything around. He does get the kill, and then this is the ensuing collapse. Even though Olleh had a really good combo there onto Bjergsen, Pobelter had a similar sort of situation here where Hauntzer got in, and Hauntzer was able to take out the enemy mid laner around the same time with Svenskeren's DPS. So TSM were able to get a good chunk in exchange there.
Yeah. Worth noting, of course, that was Immortals burning their teleport to get into this play in the first place. So while Flame is 0-0-6, it was an extra cooldown used by the Immortal squad.
Definitely true. I mean, you got to chalk up every little bit here. And you can't forget about that sneaky Infernal Drake TSM got earlier. That one starts really paying off here.
See if they can keep reaping dividends on this one. Bjergsen's continuing to scale up. He's got the Rod of Ages. That's at 5 stacks. He's not far away from finishing Seraph's next. Now a blue buff as well means teamfight power is in for Ryze.
Yeah. TSM actually might consider themselves, you know, the ones with the initiative because they have that teleport and they have Ashe Arrow ready. Dardoch laying in wait.
Just getting destroyed. Nicely done. Turtle gets the boosts up from Lulu and out they go.
What they're waiting for here is Pobelter. The Cassiopeia is a huge part of your DPS in any sort of skirmish, so without him, they didn't want to pull the trigger on mid lane, and they end up giving that turret more money to TSM.
For bot lane, Dardoch looping through the jungle. Olleh's coming around as well. Temper Fate buys the time they need, and bit of a missed shot there with the grounding, and Dardoch actually pushed out of the jungle, nearly dies the fight. But it should be enough to still to kill off Hauntzer. No way out for that one, and yes, Pobelter gets the kill.
Yeah, Dardoch kind of screens for them there. Although he almost died, he kept Svenskeren from entering that little skirmish, and Immortals do pick up a kill on the long lane there, but it's not going to provide them a lot of pressure as top lane pushed all the way up to your turret, so you kind of have to send Flame up there, and they want him to grab those minions.
Will miss some to the turret. You can see it's already in combat there, and yeah, the wave's actually gone. So, hey, goodbye Bjergsen to get something done. Gold only 1,200 apart. TSM actually up in turret kills thanks to their pretty good split pushing overall this game. Immortals have yet to crack top lane outer actually. Or mid lane, and they've gotten 2 in the bot lane. That's right, that's what happened. They have not really gotten outer turrets at all. Their split pushing has not been happening.
And you have to keep track of the deep wards as well, because you can mention, yeah, we have a teleport advantage, but if you don't have wards to use it on, then it really doesn't have that much threat behind it. Speaking of those outer towers though, Phreak.
Yep, Dardoch gonna share the gold. Make sure dies a bit faster and puts the goalie back to 2K. Immortals gonna hard shove this wave as well, and keep in mind, Bjergsen's pushing the bot lane while Pobelter soloing this Cloud Drake. Not gonna be stopped doing so. But it will be a wave in the bot lane that Immortals will have to answer at some point, or they just lose the gold. And Pobelter wants in. He's not going to find much for it.
Hello!
It's going to be the battle against Bjergsen. The chase is there. The slows the CC. He's just running for him now. Someone heal to buy some time. And here comes the re-engage, but Cody Sun has joined the fight. Nothing to be had yet as Olleh is going to lose his life for that one. The nice re-engage by TSM off the AShe arrow. Nice fight away, and it's going to be a survival for the bot lane. Biofrost gets away. Nicely done, TSM. They get that kill onto Olleh.
Yeah, definitely touch and go there. Immortals would have lost more there, but they had such extensive vision. They saw the TSM collapse. All in all, though, still, TSM happy to get gold, even if it's at the cost of giving up these Cloud Drakes. This does mean that it's going to be a very fast Rengar when he comes at you with the ultimate, but TSM would like just any sort of extra kills or extra minion waves they can push up, just in order to get the combat stats here for their team fight, or just the power to kill whoever gets hit with the AShe arrow, because this game is fairly close as far as combat power does go. Only a couple thousand gold doesn't really make a huge difference in inventory.
Yeah. Yeah, really worth pointing out. Power spikes are through for some of these members, and we'll see what can happen in this game. His 1,500 gold lead is basically nothing. Hauntzer, Iceborne Gauntlet, part of Sunfire Cape. He's got damage output to spare now at this point.
Again, I'm looking at Olleh. They are roaming up for another pick here. The Bard and Rengar combo, good at picking. Pobelter
lands is slow. He got the chase on Bjergsen. He can keep going for this one. Rengar with these bots, and that could be the damage. The jump from the brush, and Dardoch can't quite get it. Pobelter will lands the poison, and the kill comes through against the TSM mid laner.
All right, Hauntzer is pushing on the bottom side for TSM, so now they're trying to just stall here. Pings onto Baron already. This is a 25-minute Baron with very incomplete vision.
But it's going to be enough. Hauntzer on the other side of the map does have teleport, and here comes TSM coming into the mid lane.
Teleport channeling now, 8,000 health on Baron. It's dropping quickly, though.
Gonna rush this down. It's gonna be a 5v4 inside the pit. How's it gonna go? Sven's gonna get the steal. He does seem to have smite. It's gonna be heal off towards Hauntzer. They're gonna jump across the wall, but Svenskeren stuck in the pit, and he can't kill Baron just yet. He's still trying, but they've gotten a kill on a Pobelter. Sven's gonna run out of HP. They've already killed off Dardoch, though. TSM's winning this fight, and Sven's gonna get it. What a catastrophe for Immortals at 3-0, and it's gonna be more. Cody Sun's not gonna find much. The ace plus the Baron in the 4v5 for TSM.
Holy moly, they've got a huge minion wave as well. What a giant turnaround. An ace without giving up anybody, getting a Baron, getting a bunch of turrets. This game is now tremendously in TSM's favor. They should be able to get inhibitor turret off this easily.
They're gonna get a ton right now, 10 seconds or more on the average recall as TSM have the faintest of minion waves. A couple of Cassiopeias walking in now, and this will be at least the inhibitor turret. I don't know if they stay for the inhib. They will not. They'll grab their golden lead with their 5,000 benefit.
Ooh, tragedy strikes the Immortals lineup here. They got a successful pick onto Bjergsen, but TSM come in with the 4v5, plus Sven is doing Baron this whole time, so it's almost a 3v5 team fight. But then Immortals are also split as Dardoch tried to go back to then answer the smite to Baron. Baron played the 6th man here, getting multiple kills, and they get the full chase here for TSM.
Those health bars were so low. You know if Immortals played that fight better, they would have outdamaged them and gotten the kills off, but there was some level of split focus. They went back to fight Svenskeren instead of killing the rest of the team, and ended up giving the kills away to that, and you can see the damage output in that fight. WildTurtle, 6,000, just safe in the back line, did all the damage needed. Baron Nash, I'm sure, did even more, but still, good by WildTurtle.
Baron did tremendous.
Not going to land the Temper Fate either. Chunk got a Pobelter down below half HP. And the top lane pushes in. TSM likely to knock this turret down. Lead of 4,000 gold going to become 5 here. Arrow hits Cody Sun, but he arcane shifts a bit to safety. They're going to be okay with that one.
See if they are even done yet. I mean, oh! Bjergsen going for the Realm Warp into the inhibitor.
And here they are, all 5 are in. That's going to be a dropped inhib rapidly. Olleh, not much to do. Redemption to heal. Nicely done, TSM make the play.
Holy moly. I mean, this Baron power play, they still have 1 minute and 20 seconds left on it. And they've got almost their entire, well, more than their entire lead off of that single play.
And Immortals have to recoup. They have to recover from this.
Yeah.
Whether in this game or the next. TSM came back from a game where Dardoch was like individually 6-1 or something silly, and they managed to make the mid-game play they needed. Immortals kicking themselves with this Baron call. But this is still a winnable game on either side. It is a lead for TSM, absolutely. But it's within comeback range. We'll see if Immortals can do much about it. Right now, though, WildTurtle is huge. He's got 50% crit. He's got a Bloodthirst to make sure he survives the attempted Rengar dives, and it should be just fine for him. Bot lane siege continues for TSM, and this turret is going to be dropped down. Immortals cannot defend against Baron like this.
All right, well, TSM finally able to take a moment to breathe here as they've cleaned up not only all the outer turrets, but they've got super minions to work with. Baron will be timing out for the next push, but super minions should provide enough pressure on mid that they can transition over to the bottom wave. Continue some siege. It's like they're fishing for AShe arrows at the moment. They'll retreat and grab that Drake. I don't think Immortals would walk into this part of the jungle, though.
Doesn't seem like they will right now. TSM holding onto the map, and honestly, fighting for an Ocean Break this late not going to mean a lot. It's a free thing to give away. Immortals only controlling some mini waves right now and licking their wounds. TSM, it's on them now. They're the driving team, and they can set up for, I guess, either top or bot lane. It's several minutes from Baron and even longer till the next dragon. So all it's left to do is push for another inhibitor turret, or you play for rewards for 3 minutes straight and eventually go for the Baron. I guess both are options.
I mean, look how quickly the vision has swapped as well.
Oh, yeah.
Immortals trapped inside for the entire duration of Baron means, you know, anything they had outside of their base walls even started to time out. So they're just trying to set up the first line of defensive vision. You can see that giant hump in the gold difference as it swings tremendously in their favor. Circling up once again, though. Trying to work with the pressure of super minions. TSM going 4-1.
It's going to be the play. Hauntzer in the bot lane, the rest of the team going back and forth mid to top. There's the wave shove, and now WildTurtle joins his team in the top side. Turtle, the kill leader on his team now, doing pretty well on the back side. Still with that defensive build of that Bloodthirster. No other items added yet to the inventory. As far as gold, Turtle sits on 1,200. Here we go, top lane play. TSM waiting for the rotations. Those are not coming yet. No real rush to siege this. Yeah, I heard it too, but...
Sounded like a round.
I know. I heard it too. I don't know what it was.
We've been had.
There it is. All right, they're going to go to the bot side because the wave is there, and that's a tempered fate to buy some time. True shot for Ryze. They got a flash out of the stuns, and it's, whoa, damage on a Biofrost. The re-engage Svenskeren caught on that side of the wall. They've got plenty of damage from the Cassiopeia. Going to burn him down. There's the kill picked up. The marksman is down. Nicely played. Olleh set that up, and the team followed through.
Overdive there by TSM, and the Bard once again shining here for Immortals. Olleh, we heard in that little video that only recently did he have the confidence that his teammates, you know, weren't blaming him for things, and it gave him that confidence to speak up. He's also playing quite well. Let's take a look here. Got just 3. Layers it right on top of the Realm Warp, so he gets a bunch of them. It is one of the easier ones to land, but that's not it. They then land a bunch of hooks, stun Svenskeren up against this wall as well. Take down the jungler. That buys them crucial time to clear out that super minion wave. You know, wait for this inhibitor spawn back up again.
And speaking of crucial timing, he actually canceled quick draw from Svenskeren. He had just started jumping the wall. Within an 1/8 of a second, the anchor landed on him. And it's unlucky for Sven. You can't plan those things, it just happened, but still fortunate for Immortals to guarantee that kill, or Sven would have gotten out. But it's a small consolation. The inhibitor's going to respawn soon for Immortals. It'll be back up in time for the Baron buff. That's actually pretty crucial timing, to be fair. But it's a 5,000 gold deficit still for Immortals to work through. And Cody Sun had sidetracked his build. He's got a Cutlass and a Last Whisper, neither completed items. It's a bit painful, to be honest. We know that this Cassiopeia can carry teamfights. Level 17 has 3 big items, 4 big items actually.
Yeah, and if we are going to see constant teamfights here too, keep your eyes on Dardoch. It's much more difficult to teamfight as the DPS-focused Rengar rather than going full tank there. Really needs to wait for Flame to get inside and create some space for him, but he can have a devastating effect if he's able to single out one of those squishy members.
Let's see if they can get it. TSM into the mid lane. Of course, they know there's no turret defending the inhibitor, and with a 5,000 gold lead, TSM are generally supposed to win the fights. Immortals must outplay them to change that fate. TSM push mid, they go back into the jungle, wards behind them, and look at that, it's a bunch of fog of war. Rengar will pop for vision. As TSM are running through some wards. Olleh gonna get hit up, but thankfully there's a wall in the way, and Cody Sun dodges the arrow. That could have been a catastrophe. And Immortals barely get away with that one. They could have died. Pepper Fate hits the back laner. Dardoch's got to be careful. He's running out of HP rapidly. Only almost gets killed by Ryze. They find Turtle though, and Pobelter's into that one. They pick off the bot lane, and it's support death as well as Olleh's dropped the 1-for-1, but a better one. The root on Svenskeren. That's a dead Graves living up to his name. He's gone. He's 6 feet under. And Immortals, oh no, we've seen this before.
Oh, Baron again?
For Baron is a risk. They're gonna try though.
They should 100% burn this one once they see TSM.
They're not gonna try.
They're burning it.
They're trying to burn it down. They have the spike. Don't screw it up, Dardoch, and he's gonna land this one. Hauntzer the front line. Pobelter running out of HP. They're gonna burn down the mid laner, you have to assume, but GA is popped in. Flame is tanky. Bjergsen gets the kill. He trades the mid laner. Cody Sun forced to run. Hauntzer's in. He's gonna find a punch for himself, and IMT just will not learn their lessons. They keep burning against TSM and losing their team for it.
100% turn, Phreak. Turn that one. Oh, I mean, that is the cost of funneling all of your cooldowns into the Baron. Okay, so even, well, let's go over that later because this actually might be the end of the game. TSM are going in.
25 seconds on the respawns. There's 3 members here with Hauntzer joining Biofrost and Bjergsen. Bot inhibitor is dead. Mid inhibitor could be a target.
Will they go for the Nexus turrets or switch to the second inhibitor?
Going for turrets. They're going for the game. TSM's trying to close the game out right now. They need this one to bring the series back. They've caught Olleh. There's the kill immediately. 8 seconds on Pobelter, 8 seconds on Cody Sun. They've got the time. This should be the game going home. A few more seconds on the respawn. It's going to be a tight timing. And TSM now looking for the Nexus. The arrow's not going to land. Here comes the re-engage. Pobelter trying to stop this one in its tracks. And it's still a full HP. 3v4. Flames up in 3 seconds, and TSM are going to get pushed back a little bit.
They're still here. They got all 5 members.
They're going to try to close the game out right now. Svenskeren still cutting back and forth. Flame looking for it. Anchor's not going to land. Dardoch going to get rooted up. Almost gets his life taken away. But Hauntzer chased down. The stun is there. Mid inhibitor's dead, but the chase is in. 1 kill comes through. Cody Sun not going to find anything else, but a shutdown means it's a 5v4 for now. The Immortals hold onto their base just barely.
Holy moly. All right, we'll take another look at it now. Even though the enemy jungler is dead and you're not going to have this smited away, you lose so much health, so much of your own DPS is on cooldown from burning Baron. Look at Dardoch doesn't get to do anything. Pobelter was so low life that he gets chunked out super quickly, and then Guardian Angel on Hauntzer means he cleans up those 2.
And it was great by Bjergsen too, his target selection. He switched over to kill the Cassiopeia. That was massive. But Immortals still using the fact that Hauntzer is dead, but it's TSM just gonna win the game. It's over, and TSM ties it up. Good call right there. It was a realm warp from TSM. It's already hard to leave your base when you're down inhibitors and turrets. It's impossible against Ryze. TSM chance from the audience, and well-deserved. Maybe some help from Immortals. Both those Baron calls were catastrophes. But TSM had the gumption to stay alive and turn it all around in the end. What a strange game. And it's It's actually been a day of questionable shot calls, to be honest. The previous series I cast, it has been a strange
Everybody
day.
got an hour less of sleep, so just all kinds of weird stuff.
Even if you're playing at 3 o'clock, just blame the fact that you were sleeping or something. I don't know. Either way, though.
Yeah,
very,
just shake your head.
All I can do is shake my head. I mean, look, I understand that Immortals wanted to go for some game-winning calls, but they were clearly too risky. They clearly did backfire. And TSM played it right. They got behind a little bit, but they played it right. We have replays. Let's show the 34-minute Baron that TSM got where they went 5-2. This one, obviously quite big.
All right, yeah, we're going to take another look at it. Now, this one was, remember, Immortals down a few thousand gold when they forced this fight, but they get such a good chase onto Turtle, isolating him and committing over that side of the wall. That combined with Dardoch getting out on the other side means they were the ones to gain control of this Baron. Now, initially I was like, okay, this is 100% a bait. They're going to turn immediately to get more kills, but they stay into Baron. They also group up all behind Baron for more back spikes, which are AoE and actually do even more damage.
Yeah.
That being said, this ensuing fight was a little bit close, and TSM did have to play that fight quite well to pick up all those kills, but putting themselves in that position after getting the team fight victory was definitely a hot-blooded call there.
Yeah.
And it backfired in a huge way. That being said, this only evens up the series 1-1.
Yep.
Immortals do still have a very real chance at taking down TSM.
Yeah.
And, getting themselves to a much more comfortable playoff spot.
They just need the mental fortitude to do it, though, is the things. I know Immortals are an insanely emotional team. Dardoch himself, we know especially that case. And from 6-1 to 7-5 is not a scoreline he wants. Losing that game, not something he wants either. We'll see if Immortals can make it happen or if TSM's going to close it out. But for a deeper dive into that game win,